Coaches change lives, but in the AI era, how do coaches use AI to better improve their craft? Let's find out from a real live coach here on the Cozy AI Kitchen. So if you know the Cozy AI Kitchen, this was created with my friend Ross Heisey, and really, he loves the Green Bay Packers. He loves sports. He loves coaching. Look at me, I have no coaching, football, sports kind of ability. But luckily, Ross has brought his friend, Coach Pat Cavanaugh, to the Cozy AI Kitchen. Welcome, Coach Pat.
Hi, John. It's so great to be here with you. I'm excited. It's going to be a great time.
Well, just a few seconds in the pre-game to the kitchen, I'm already motivated by your presence, so thanks so much for being here. Can you tell the Cozy AI Kitchen audience about your background and what you do?
Thanks, John. First off, I'm a teacher. I'm a coach at heart. I went to college with interest in teaching and coaching, and went to school to be an elementary ed teacher. Following my schooling, I went and coached college football for a couple years, and then started a career in teaching, and then became a school administrator. Was a school principal in Metro Detroit for 12 years, elementary principal for 7 years, middle school principal for 5. And throughout that journey, just really loved and appreciated the opportunity to lead and be a part of the school community. After about 12 years as a school administrator, I had the chance to join one of the most highly decorated NFL programs, just athletic teams, and that's the Green Bay Packers. So the Packers are a special place in my heart, and spent 5 years there in the front office in a leadership role, working on the business side of the organization, working with hospitality and events, and just truly appreciated that opportunity, learned from a lot of great leaders. It's a special place, and it's a true fabric of the community within Green Bay and the whole state of Wisconsin. And then most recently, John, I had a really unique opportunity to join the company Jane Jones, which was founded by 2 former teachers and coaches. And I've been a part of that organization for a short period of time, but have quickly been able to really see the greatness that's within the organization. And we really focus on 3 key things: leadership, culture, and mindset. So leadership, we really look at it in a couple of ways. Number one, how we help other people lead themselves, how we help them lead others, and then what we believe is the most important part of leadership is servant leadership. And then when we get into culture, we believe culture is either growing or it's dying. It's never staying the same. So we help companies, we help people build an elevated level of culture. We know it's often spoken about, but hard to define. And we really help people and organizations build great cultures to build great teams. And then the last thing is that we really focus on is the mindset. And the mindset is what we believe is also known as the mental skills. And so to give a sports analogy, we love sports, but when we ask the question, how much of your participation, and this applies to the corporate world too, how much of playing or working in an organization is mental? And we get a lot of different answers. Some say it's 80%, some say it's 90%, some say it's 50%. And then we follow that answer up with how often do you spend time focusing on those mental skills? And that's what I enjoy and appreciate so much about the company, is how we can really focus in on the mental skills of the game. And that's really my why with being a part of Jane Jones, is helping people be the best versions of themselves and helping them get an edge and helping them get the results that they're looking for, both with profit and with people and relationships.
Fantastic. Well, as Peter Drucker said, culture eats strategy for lunch. I'm hungry. Let's go into the AI kitchen to cook some AI for you, Coach. Here we go. So here we have a special Pat Cavanaugh AI edition recipe. First off, I'm going to bring in some packages. Oops, I hit twice. There we go. Bring some packages in. And AI has keys attached to them, Coach. So I'm going to bring in some keys. It's going to sort of open some doors. And this is some code I wrote to wrap around what's called the Azure OpenAI Assistant API. It's a really easy way to build software in this so-called agent paradigm. Here I'm pulling in something I wrote special to be able to make it easy to talk to an agent directly. And lastly, I have what's called the semantic kernel. It is an AI orchestration system that lets you connect all the dots of AI together. Okay, so here's the main portion here. So I'm going to sprout an agent. If you see here, I have agent name, Coach Pat. This is not meant to replace you, coach. You are irreplaceable. This is meant to be an example. And I really just sort of put in your brief bio here. And I've given instructions built out of your bio. If you were to write this program yourself, you could change anything inside this text, and it would basically change the behavior, give instructions for how to coach better, worse, or best. And then I also made it possible to do what's called retrieval augmented generation. It's called RAG, R-A-G. It means I can easily include a file. You can have a file of notes of people you're working with or talking with, and what this AI assistant does, it pulls in the file and it gets ready to go. So let's sprout the agent. It is ready and it's been minted, and let's give this coach a call. Okay, so I'm going to say, Coach Pat, I understand your clients struggle with trust. Is that right?
It's a big part of it. Yeah, it's how they can help build trust in the people they have the privilege to lead, and then also with the people they serve, their clients, their customers. So that's a really critical piece of what we hear from them on a daily basis.
And you know, this Coach Pat doesn't have your memory. So this Coach Pat is advising the following. Trust issues can be very challenging, but they can often be improved with intentional actions, open communication, consistency, empathy. Notice that this coach has 3 in its mind. You might have 3 in your mind. You're able to actually modify that. What kind of question do you think I should ask this Coach Pat?
Tell us a little bit more about what clear communication looks like. What are some specifics on clear communication?
Oh, exciting. I feel like I'm on Jeopardy or something. There we go. Okay.
I'm excited too, John, so this is great.
There you go. Okay, let's move. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Clear communication involves both speaking and listening effectively. Be direct, active listening, transparency. This Coach Pat is giving an example. For example, when I was coaching, I had a player who felt left out of the game plan. I scheduled a one-on-one meeting. I actively listened to his concerns and explained my decisions transparently. This has not only resolved the issue, but also built trust moving forward. Is there a particular, so it's asking questions back.
Oh, I'll first chime in,
yes, please,
John, and say that's really profound, because you know we look at leadership as being great listeners and actively listening. And I think what was spelled out there is really important, because there was also a level of transparency, which most people are looking for. They're looking for honest, transparent feedback. So I think that's really good response there. I would say, you know, from a follow-up to that, because it's asking, is there a particular conversation or situation?
Yep.
I would say a difficult conversation where someone isn't performing to the level that maybe they should be. So underperformance, what does that conversation look like from a feedback standpoint?
Mm-hmm. Notice I thank this coach for being great active listener. Okay, here it goes. Addressing underperformance in a feedback conversation requires a careful balance of clarity and empathy. Here's a basic structure. Specific examples. I've noticed that the last 3 reports were submitted late. Impact. Explain how it affects a team or project. Support and solutions. Offer support and collaborate on solutions. Is there something hindering you that I can only help with? How can we ensure timely submissions moving forward? And now it's telling a story about you as a principal. Again, this is all fictitious. However, you're able to train, guide it to your own background. Go ahead, Coach. Last question.
Last question. Prior to that will be just another point, which I think is great, because I see here that there's an opportunity to help. And great coaches, great leaders aren't always there when it comes to giving feedback, to also be part of that solution by offering help. So if I look at it this way, how can we ensure timely submissions moving forward? I would ask, what is a good tangible example of moving forward with increased performance? What does that look like?
There it is. And there we go. I liked when I thanked it again. It just keeps asking me to be specific, just like you're asking it to be specific. There it goes. Define specific goals, outline what increased performance looks like, action plan, identify the steps, and also regular check-ins. Are we monitoring progress? And it's asking more questions. So Coach, tell me about your reaction to this sort of AI system that basically is a program you can modify by yourself.
Is the focus on being intentional, listening, demonstrating empathy, being a part of the solution for the person that critical conversation is being had with, I think is really important. And then I think it's something that we often do regularly is really focus on moving forward. So what are the next best steps, or what are the next best actions, MBA, next best actions? And so I think that's really, really important. And then the other thing I will say is that was spelled out, which we like as well, is impact. People like knowing their role in the organization as a whole, and then furthermore, knowing the impact they have. And so when they're given feedback on what the impact is, either with their actions or what they are able to do moving forward, I think it just creates a level of commitment and ownership that most people are looking for. So this exercise, this distilling down of getting even more clear, I think was pretty exciting. And thanks for working me through this, John. This is really good stuff.
Well, I gotta say that just these minutes with you have already made me sort of want to sort of stand up a little straighter, a little taller, and it's been a motivating moment. I know that our viewers have felt the same thing. The Cozy AI Kitchen uses very cozy, kind of slouchy, but we're all kind of standing a little differently. Thanks to you, Coach. Coach, any sort of parting words to software developers out there who seek coaching? I mean, developers are usually kind of like lone wolf type individuals, and they do look for something different in life. Do you have advice for them, please?
Say, people that we work with, they learn best from other people. So we like using the term borrowing brilliance. So I would say for those people who are looking to grow or just improve a little bit or get that competitive edge, seek out people around them. And we also believe in the smartest person in the room is the room. And so how you can leverage other people's knowledge is just really important. And I would also say with that comes a level of vulnerability and being willing to ask questions and letting others know that you don't have all the answers. I think that's a really empowering exercise, both for you as the person getting feedback and then also for the person who's giving you feedback. So, growing is really a big part of our business. We believe in growing greatness. So even those who are at the top, we love working with those who continue to grow. And I think about our two owners, Lucas Jane and Steve Jones. Lucas Jane works directly with the manager of the LA Dodgers, Dave Roberts, and Steve Jones works with the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur. Those are two coaches that they're at the top of their game, both in Major League Baseball and in the NFL, and they both have coaches in their lives. And I just so happen to get to work with both of those respective coaches, and Lucas Jaden and Steve Jones. And I would say the other part is we have a book that's out that was written by Lucas and Steve called The Twin Thieves. The Twin Thieves is all about the fear of failure and the fear of judgment. And they are called twins because they often look the same, but they're very different. And they're also looked at as thieves because we believe they're robbing people of their success, of their journey to continuous improvement. So to answer your question, John, we're here as a company to help, but I also would say there's a lot of smart people out there and people who are willing to show the willingness and the vulnerability to learn from others, we believe is a beautiful thing. So really excited to be with you today, John, and this was just invigorating and fulfilling to spend this time with you.
Well, Coach, I have just one additional request because I'm so struck and moved by what you're saying. I know that the co-creator Ross loves the Green Bay Packers. And when I asked AI to tell a story about the Green Bay Packers and teamwork, I think, could you give us justice on a Green Bay Packers story that an insider would know?
One story that connects Microsoft and the Packers, and this is kind of a personal story, and Ross will probably remember this story, but one of the finer moments I had with being with the Green Bay Packers, and again, I was there for 5 years, was when Brad Smith visited for a game. And for those who don't know, Brad Smith is from Appleton, which is about 30 miles south of Green Bay. And he came to the game with his wife and some other Microsoft folks. And what was so neat was being around him and just seeing how humble he was. And the story that I just really enjoyed, and I'll never forget, was I had the privilege, the honor to walk Brad from the Titletown Tech building, which is just directly across the street from Lambeau Field, which is a joint partnership with the Packers and Microsoft. I had the chance to walk Brad from the Titletown Tech building to Lambeau Field and walk him down on the field pregame. And just being a part of that experience with him, someone who is as prolific and as impactful as Brad Smith, was really neat. And just seeing him be a part of the lore of the Green Bay Packers right there on the field pregame was pretty special. And then I just would say, again, just seeing his humility and just the kindness that he demonstrated, it doesn't surprise me by the company that Microsoft is. But that was just a really neat experience that I certainly will never forget. And there's many, many others with the Packers, but I just think the connection with Microsoft to the Packers is just so special. And there's plenty more to come down the road with the future, because I think it's just two incredible brands that believe in the same thing. And when two great brands like them get together, I think just there's special things that can happen.
Well, Coach Pat, thank you so much for joining us. And just like to say to all you developers out there who are looking for coaching, you know where to go. Thanks very much.
Thanks, John.
Bye.